So welcome everyone. My name is Tanya Smagaki. I'm head of community and partnerships here at Vantage Ventures. And for those of you that are new to our community, Vantage Ventures was born out of John Chambers, the School of Business and Economics here at West Virginia University. We serve here a home of high impact entrepreneurs. We have about 30 right now that are tackling complex problems right here within the Mountain State. We're located right in Morgantown. So if you're ever in town or if you're interested in having a tour, please loop in with me. We'd love to arrange for that. And joining us today is our esteemed guest, Roya Maher, President and CEO of A3L Federal Works. Roya is a skilled engineer with a diverse background. Items such as software engineering, quality assurance, process improvement, knowledge management, data analytics, technical systems, training, and biometric screenings. She has led various projects for the Department of Defense, Department of Justice, NASA, CMS, and the Department of the Army. We're honored to have Roya here with us today to hear about her lived experiences as a female entrepreneur, from NASA to tech CEO. Please join us in this discussion as we hear about her diverse background. This will be a moderated panel to start, and it will be recorded, but then we'll open it up to audience Q&A. So come ready with your questions. And we look forward to having a rich discussion. So Roya, welcome. We're very happy to have you.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I appreciate it.
So I'm going to start. You immigrated to the United States at the age of 15. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience and how it made you resilient, how it empowered you to advance your thinking and break ground as a female entrepreneur?
Sure, yeah, I would love to share that. So my family and I immigrated to the US in 1979. And we left Iran because of the political unrest in the country when the Islamists were taking over the country, over the government. So we moved to Boston, where we had a house. My older siblings were going to college, and I was, like I said, I was 15. I started 9th grade in Boston, and which was, kind of the experience definitely made me resilient, because during that time there was a lot of hostility towards Iran because of the hostage crisis, and also there were hostility towards Iranians living in America. So even though we were US citizens and, even though we had moved, because we were coming and going to the States every summer, it was kind of hard. I was only 15.
He says it's hard too. I don't blame him.
Oh my gosh. See, I knew that would happen. Oh. I apologize. See?
That's okay.
I gave him. Anyway, so I had to endure a lot of comments and questions from my classmates. Some were innocent and they were just curious, but some were more of a vicious nature. And I did go to a private school. It was a small school. Still, it was the atmosphere was really rough. But I had to learn not to take it personally and not to let it get to me. And what I did is I tried to, with my limited English at that time, I had to explain to them, why we came to America, what happened, that, a bad government doesn't make the people of a country bad. Even at that time, I was a US citizen, but, of course, I had an accent, I'm only 15, and, the atmosphere was tough. So it made it, it just made me more resilient. And I studied hard. I decided to study hard, and I was determined to become an engineer. So the high school years, even though it was tough, my studying, took me, and I endured a lot of stuff, and, made me stronger. And my father was a successful businessman and in Iran, and he always emphasized the importance of a good education, and that how important it is to the road of success. So from a young age, I knew I wanted to have my own business, and I knew that I had to work hard and not let challenges get to me. I understood the fact that I am in a new country, I have to adjust, and it just made me more stronger. So it was, experience was good. I love this country, but it was tough times that I came, but just made me stronger, more resilient.
Well, you worked at both NASA and General Motors. And I guess if you could tell us a little bit, what challenges did you have to overcome at the beginning of your career as a female entrepreneur,
Sure.
specifically,
So,
I guess, in those areas?
sure. I started working for General Motors Truck and Bus Group right after I got my undergrad and master's from Cornell in 1986. It was in industrial engineering. So I was in the field of manufacturing, industrial engineering, process improvement. So I got a job from GM. I was very excited. And my job was in my first position at GM was in an assembly plant in Flint, Michigan. So it was a massive assembly plant where they made big old Suburbans and big old trucks. So here I am, a young woman in the world of, automotive manufacturing, and with a foreign accent. I had to supervise many United Auto Workers Union. United Auto Workers Union members, and they were assembly plant workers. So it was really, really challenging in the beginning because they wouldn't take me seriously. I was a small, skinny little girl, and I was smart, and I knew the stuff, but I had to again overcome the challenge then. And I did what I did in high school. I worked with them, I explained to them, and even then there was like animosity towards, Iranian Americans and everything. So I had to explain to them, the whole thing, why I'm here, what happened. And, and I respected them a lot. I worked with them a lot. And, I'm here an engineer and they are assembly workers. So I had to really come down to earth and, just treat them, which I would have done no matter what. So I gained their trust. And it was wonderful. Like when I was leaving my first year of, as an engineer at GM, they send you to the assembly plant to learn everything. One of the supervisors that was the toughest on me in the beginning, he actually had tears in his eyes. So again, you can't let things get to you. Things get tough. You have to, kind of not take them personally and try to work with people. Some people just need the education. So, I kind of overcame the effects of prejudice like that. And so that was my job at GM. Then I quit my job and came to West Virginia in 1992 with my husband and 2 children. And that was, and he was a professor here at WVU. So when we came here in 1992, there were no jobs. I looked for jobs in Morgantown, there was nothing here. So I decided to stay home, take care of my children. I had 4 children, I raised them, and my life became a life of a very busy mother of 4, and filled with volunteer activities. I did everything from school volunteering, community, my homeowners association. So I was busy. I was doing a lot of work, just not getting paid for it. So, which I don't regret every minute of it because I raised my kids. And then in April of 2007, I had an opportunity. One of my neighbors asked me for my resume, knowing that, I have degrees in engineering. And I was able to get a job. I was ready to go back to work. I got a job with a small woman-owned business. And my first job was a system engineer at a system engineer for a project from Department of Justice. It was called Amberview. So I did that for a while. And then after that, I became a project manager through the same company, working for NASA, for the NASA IBMB in Fairmont, West Virginia, for their metrics team. So I did that. And this time my challenges not only included being a woman in her 40s, raised her children just fresh in the workforce. I had to learn all the new technical stuff that I hadn't done in like 15 years. And I had to learn how to do business, with new technologies, new tools. So again, it was challenging. And I was again in a male-dominated industry, and I had to prove myself, which I did. So I have to say that for both situations, for both jobs, I loved them. I loved what I did. but my perseverance and drive to learn and be successful helped me overcome challenges. And it even boosted my resolve to start my own company. So I would be my own boss. So everything that happened, I went through some great times, some hard times, but it all ended up where I wanted to be.
Well, that leads me to a nice segue to my next question. You started A3L Federal Works at the age of 50.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to do it?
So like I said, from a young age, I always wanted to have my own business. My father was a very successful business owner in Iran. And, after working many years as an engineer for multiple companies, small and large, the last one was Northrop Grumman, I knew I was ready. I had taken classes in federal acquisition regulations, so I was prepared. And I had completed my course load for my software engineering certificate because, I knew that that's where I was going. Like most of my contracts were software engineering and software related. So I knew I was ready. I had the experience. I always wanted to do it. My kids were at an age that, I didn't have to be home for them 24/7. So in 2014, I started my business. And I named it A3L Federal Works, and A3L is the initials of my 4 children. So kind of corny, but I love it.
Nice. So what do you think is unique about your business?
The culture of our company is what makes us unique. We are like a big family. My employees know that I'm always here for them, and they're the most important part of my business. They're the most important asset for me, and they trust me. So that to me is something every business needs to have, because that's, your employees are it. Without them, your business is nothing. We are a very agile company. We are small. My management team has a desire and commitment to help grow business. So what we do, we have the passion for it. And my company has grown in the past 8 years from 1 person to 40 employees. So, and we are continuously growing and getting more contracts with the government. And the other thing that I think maybe other companies have it too, maybe it's not so much unique to my company, but I always advocate for my employees. In every case, if I have contract with my government customer, I'm there for my employees. I think, I advocate for them. I want the best for them. So I think the culture of our company is very unique and special.
What strategies would you say that you used to first market yourself and your business?
I did a lot of networking. Like I would attend a lot of conferences. I would go to a lot of networking events. And, through personal relationships and working various companies, getting to know people, I kind of got my name out there. And the West Virginia Small Business Administration, the SBA, really was helpful in getting me get my name out there. I would sponsor events, I would attend events. So that's how I kind of got my company known out there.
Well, you also, in your many roles, served as an adjunct professor at Fairmont State, go Falcons, yay, where you taught national security and intelligence program. Would you say, in your opinion, is there a specific coursework or body of knowledge that you'd recommend a budding entrepreneur absolutely have?
I would absolutely encourage them to learn about project and program management. There are classes, in any field of study, you can take those classes. And, you can also join the Program Management Institute, PMI, and then work towards getting your PMP certification. Because if you don't know how to run a business, if you don't have that managerial skills, you're not going to be successful. You need to know what is important in running a successful business. Another thing that's really important is taking classes in effective communication, not only verbal, but written. Because you might have great ideas, but if you don't know how to put them down in words, if you don't know how to verbalize them in business, it's not going to get you anywhere. So people skills and effective communication, and those classes are available at all schools. And also one thing that any future entrepreneur should know is that you have to know the industry that your business is focused on. If you are in the IT industry, you have to understand, like if you have a project that is software development, you have to understand at least the basics of that. So you continuously have to learn, you have to take classes, you have to just understand every aspect of your business to be able to run it successfully. And my advice, to this day, I take classes and I'm constantly learning, is, continuously learn and keep up with the trends in the industry.
Wonderful. Well, the demand for A3L's capabilities was probably in high demand given the rapid adoption of new technologies, especially even during the pandemic.
Yeah.
How has your work changed with clients?
Our technical capabilities and experiences, as we get more experience, we have more capabilities and past performance. So we have been able to secure a lot more government contracts. We have contracts with website development, with Defense Logistic Agency. We do work with Center for Medicare Medicaid Services. So as we do these works, because we have the in-house capabilities, we are also building past performance for our company. So that also, because the government wants you to have past performance, show them you're capable of doing the work because you've done it before. So we are growing really fast, and we are going after many, many other opportunities. We have built a pipeline. So yeah, and during the pandemic, what we did, we were even more, we made the process of doing business with our, we had a robust process in place where our work continued, like nothing was interrupted. Our employees worked, we were effective in all our work, and also we were totally able to meet all our customers' expectations and requirements. So during the pandemic, we totally utilized the technology such as Teams and Zoom and everything else, and we had a robust process in place. So it didn't really affect our company that badly.
What type of technologies does your team deploy?
We do software development and testing. We are very good about with creating websites and content management. We do data analytics, process improvement. We are very strong in biometrics identification systems, which we do have a couple of contracts, and it's all in support of national security. So we are a very diverse company, not only in our technical capabilities, but also in our government customers. We do work with NOAA, with DOD, with CMS, with DLA, Army Research Laboratory. So those are the services we provide.
Well, you're also, in your many roles, you're very active in your community. You've supported many initiatives such as the Mountaineer Area Robotics, STEM outreach, FIRST Robotics, Cyber Robotics, and FIRST LEGO League initiatives. How would you say your volunteer service has helped expand robotics, maybe to those who have less access?
Oh, can you see me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought something just. Since for the past 10 years or so, and kind of slowed down during the COVID pandemic, but I have always been involved with the STEM outreach initiatives such as the Mountaineer Area Robotics, Mars FIRST Robotics program. I've been involved in fundraising and promoting the robotics, and I've been a judge for multiple competitions they have had. I was also, as my company, I funded and sponsored, promoted the Zero Robotics Summer Program, which is where the students competed with other states, including Massachusetts and Connecticut, and our children did so well. And basically, they designed a project where the astronauts, they did the projects in up in the International Space Center. station. So it was great. I loved it, and I funded it. So these students had to come from Southern West Virginia, and I funded, the trip and everything, all the costs that was involved. And then also for 2 years, my company funded and was the sole sponsor of cyber robotics coding competition. It's called CRCC. And it's an innovative robotics tournament that excites, engages students in coding, where they learn to code virtual 3D robotics. So I also, not only I'm there to, to talk to them and tell them how important it is to be in the field of STEM, I also financially support them so that the students who don't have the access, or they can if their finances are an issue, they can also attend and be able to be part of this. So yeah, that's how I do it. Not only I give my time and my expertise and my skills as an engineer, and I share it with them to encourage them, I also support them financially.
Well, thank you. That's so wonderful that we have you in our corner. I was never one of those students to do the robotics, but I like to see it. What could you say that you have enjoyed most about owning your own company?
Oh goodness, I am, I'm 58 years old, so I get up every morning, I'm energized, excited to work towards growing my business. I love hiring new employees. I love hiring to the economy of our state and also of our country. I get a tremendous sense of accomplishment, and it just has rejuvenated me. I just love it. I have the passion for it. I always say it's my fifth child, my company. And I also love it that because I am able to even give more financially, because we have a successful business, so I can support the community even more. I support Girls on the Run. I've done it in the past, and then there's some other initiatives out there to help children at risk, and I am involved in some of those activities too. Not only my time, but also money from my company.
What would you say are some of the challenges you face regarding catalyzing innovation?
Well, I think, we are continuously to have to learn and keep up with the ever-changing emerging technologies. So one challenge is that as a business owner, running your business day-to-day operations and doing everything that's needed to run your business smoothly, sometimes it might prevent an entrepreneur from pursuing innovative initiatives. So that's something that we try to kind of keep up with, so that won't happen. So that's one challenge, because you're a small business, you wear a lot of hats. Mm-hmm. So to go after innovation, you need to be a little bit. So as we grow and get bigger, we're going to have more opportunities to pursue those.
Great. Well, those are I guess I'm wrapping up the questions that I created. Do we have any now? We can open it up to the audience.
I think you had one question that you sent me. What are the qualities of a good entrepreneur? Right? Was that one of the questions?
That was one. See, wow. She got me. I skipped one.
No, it was right in front of me. So I can say, because this was very important to me, this question. So the most important is you have to have the passion to succeed and to learn. You can't say I have a business, so I'm just going to do. You have to continuously learn, and you have to have perseverance, and you have to work hard. So that's number one. And then you also have to learn the fundamental aspects of running a business to make sure you have a solid infrastructure for your business so it will be successful. And you have to be humble, you have to have humility, and you have to be ethical. And then you have to be kind, and the desire to take care of your employees and having their best interests in mind, and of course, giving back to the community. You always have to give back.
Okay, any questions coming in from audience members? Don't be bashful. You can put it in the chat too, and I can read it out if you.
We ask questions.
Hi, Tanya. A question. Yeah. Hi, Roya. It's nice to see you. It's Julie.
Thank you.
What, it's so nice to see you. What are, if you could share with us maybe 2 to 3 elements that you like most about having a business in the state of West Virginia?
Yeah, so I came to West Virginia in 1992, and this is my home now. I had my youngest 2 children here, so I really, really care about West Virginia. I hate that sometimes we have a bad rep when I go to conferences, outside. And what I love about my company, Julie, is that I am able to retain the talent here, and that's my first priority. So I try to create jobs, try to go after contracts where I can keep them here. I can hire them here. So it will help our state, help our economy. So that's one aspect that I love working in West Virginia. And then also the other support I get from West Virginia government. The West Virginia Development, oh my God, I always forget that name. They just recently, and that's where Matt, thank you. Matt Bauer is a part of it, and they do amazing things for small business. So just recently they came to my office and they made a beautiful video of my company, our culture, what we do for free. And they're going to do another podcast for us. So the state helps promote us. So everything they do for my business has been priceless. So, and I have brothers that are also business owners in New York, in New Jersey. They don't get the same support. It's just, West Virginia is one big family, if you ask me. I just love the state. And it's been nothing but great for my business and, of course, for my family and my friends, including you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure, Julie.
Hey, Julie. I remember last year, Roya, reading an article during the COVID, which I guess at some point we'll get out of, but you were talking about the importance of community banks and how they helped you.
Oh my God, yes. So it was during the time where they would give you the loans. This SBA was giving business loans out, and Clear Mountain Bank. I just can't believe what they did for me. I mean, they actually delivered. I gave them the hard copies of all our paperwork and everything. Of course, we have a very, very great accounting system as a small business. My business manager, Holly Reeves, she just keeps beautiful records of everything. So we had everything that they needed, hard copies. The system was down. I couldn't upload it. So Mark Randalls at Clear Mountain Bank said, bring it to the bank, give it to me, and I will submit it. So that was a Friday. I gave him the hard copies. He submitted my application, and then we got our loan in like less than 10 days. And then I heard horror stories about other people, including my brother in New Jersey also has a small business and dealt with a big bank, which it was, like a nightmare for him. So yeah, and Clear Mountain Bank has been there from day one for my business. And and again, another small local bank in West Virginia, they treat me like gold, and I'm so grateful for them. Another
Good story to hear.
Living in West Virginia. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions coming in? Or you can put it in the chat. Okay, well, I have a fun question that I always ask.
Okay.
The commitment to scale a mountain definitely takes a lot of resilience. And as you know, we have a lot of hills here in West Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
So can you tell us one of your favorite place in the Mountain State?
Oh, of course. I think it's probably everybody's favorite place is Cooper's Rock. That rock, I just love it. I love Cheat Lake. I love everything. I love everything about this state. I just need to go. My son loves the New River Gorge, and he goes there a lot. And during the summer, that's the place I need to go visit. But I love Cooper's Rock. I love Chestnut Ridge Park, and it's so close to my house. It's only like 5-10 minutes. So, the state is so beautiful, has so much to offer. And yeah, I just love living here. And, this is my home now. Born in Iran, went to school in Boston and New York, worked in Michigan, and now this is my home.
Well, I had a question come in.
Uh-huh.
Could you expand upon how you developed a customer base while building a company here in West Virginia?
Yeah, so we do have a very strong business development team. And it's all about researching. There are all these tools and all these databases out there, with government contracts, government agencies, and what they need, what their needs and requirements are. So it's a process we have. We have an amazing concrete process where my BD people, we have a great guy, Ronnie Maher. He does digs in and finds these amazing opportunities. So we do a lot of research. We write a lot of respond to a lot of sources thoughts and requests for information. We respond to requests for proposals. So it's an ongoing thing. Like this week alone, we responded to 3 sources thoughts. Basically, a sources thought is the government wants to know, is a small business out there that can do this capability? If yes, we either sole source to you or we will create an RFP so you can, send your proposals. So we just submitted 3 to NIOSH, to IRS, and then we are doing another one to Air Force, which I submitted this morning at 10. So it's a continuous looking for opportunities and submitting and telling the government what you're capable of doing. I've done it, so I can do this for you, and then you get the contracts. And our process has been very, very successful. And also we work, we are subcontracted to some large companies like Leidos, and in the past with Northrop Grumman. So that's also, we try to kind of expand on that too. So not only we are primes on contracts, we also sub to the large companies. And that's how I built our customer base.
Wonderful. We have time for a couple more questions. If anyone has any. Don't be bashful.
I think Sarah wrote something here, and she's absolutely right. Yeah, small business designation is a great advantage, Sarah. You're absolutely right. Because, as a small business, you can be woman-owned, you can be 8A certified, HubZone, and we are all that. And we also on a government-wide acquisition vehicle called 8A Stars 3 is a 10-year vehicle, and it was really tough to get in. We were one of the first companies that got it. Yeah, I think the only West Virginia company that is on it. So yeah, definitely being a woman-owned small business and these designations, SBA is trying to kind of level the playing field. So, but at the same time, you have to be a really good company. You can't just bank on those to get contracts. You have to be a capable company.
We had a good question come in. What is West Virginia sort of not doing right now that it could be doing to attract more STEM-based companies?
I think that is that goes back to our political people in DC. They need to, wine and dine these companies to come here, like Alabama has done. I think they need to work a little bit harder in convincing companies to come here and give them the perks, maybe tax, deductions or whatever I know we have some good initiatives right now where, they pay people to move here. But not only we need to bring companies here, STEM-based companies, we need to bring more agency anchors. Like, we need to bring Department of Energy or CMS, the branches, anchor them here, because DC is so congested with all these headquarters of federal agencies. Try to convince them. We're only 3 hours from DC. Why don't you bring some here? So I think that's what we need. Not only companies moving here, but we need to have anchor agencies come here and bring business. And I think that's something that I don't know how it can get done, but all I can see is our representatives in the government need to work on that, like Dr. Bird did. That's the way I look at it.
Well, we had another good question come in. The early stages of developing your business, what was the most difficult challenge you faced and how did you overcome it?
I don't know if I can say it was I think the most difficult. I got kind of lucky because right when I started my company in 2014, before that, I was working for Northrop Grumman as an engineer. So I quit, started my company, and then they brought me in and they gave me 2 subcontracts. So it's like getting your foot in when you're just starting your company. You establish your company. If you don't have contracts, and it happens to a lot of small businesses. So it could have been a huge challenge for me. And then, of course, I had those 2 subcontracts for like a couple of years before I got my actual prime contracts for myself. So that was kind of the challenge. And of course, another challenge is that you have to create your infrastructure for your company. You have to have a solid accounting system. You have to have a concrete company that has, all I can say is that accounting is so important. And I'm so grateful to my business manager, Holly Reeves, because we have an amazing, solid accounting system. So that is number one important thing for a company. So when I started, it was only me, and my background is engineering. So it was but I was growing. So then when Holly joined, and then we have some other consultants that work for Holly is full-time employee of A3L. But so those were the challenges in the beginning, to try to start that infrastructure and make it concrete and solid.
I'm going to take one last question. What is the importance of relationships with other small and large companies, working with a team or a partner, finding sub opportunities?
Oh, it's so important. If you are just starting your company, government is not going to come and give you a contract because they have no past performance on you. But if you have subbed, and that's exactly what happened to me, as a sub to Northrop Grumman, as a sub to Leidos, I proved that my company is capable. I had great supplier assessments from my customers. So it is so important to have those relationships, and also relationships with other small companies is also as important because we team together. So right now, there's another company in West Virginia called Lakota, and they are a strong software and biometrics company. So we team together and we go after big contracts. And we are doing one right now with State Department. So both are so important. Relationship with small businesses, so you can team together and go after something bigger, and also being a sub to a larger company to learn from them and to build past performance.
Well, thank you again for joining us today, Roya. I learned a lot. I'm sure many of you all did. Here's a quick compliment. The tenacity and leadership for a woman founder in technology, most certainly.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for considering me for this. It was wonderful to share my story with everyone.
So those of you joining, please come down to Vantage anytime you'd like to have a tour, loop in with us. Tomorrow we are going to be having a ribbon cutting with Rank 1. I believe the invite is still out there on Eventbrite if you wanted to RSVP. And then our next Real Talk will be with Joe Cap next month, July 27th. So we hope you join us for that. Awesome. And thank you again. Have a wonderful summer and hope to see you.
Tanya. Thank you, everyone. And Sarah, it was great seeing you guys. Bye-bye.
Nice to see you. Bye-bye.